More than 40 new foreign investors entered the Kazakh market in 2019. Analysts said that the largest investments were made in the construction of industrial greenhouses as well as the reconstruction of sewage treatment plants. In total, nearly 17,000 companies with foreign capital operate in Kazakhstan. In the first 11 months of last year, the country has attracted investors from various countries, including European Union, the United States, Singapore, Turkey, and Russia. Over the years of independence, $330 billion has been invested in the economy of Kazakhstan from 120 countries. Investment volume in North Kazakhstan has grown by 12%, with nearly 170 billion tenge allocated to the region in the last 10 months. According to forecasts, the growth will continue. Experts said that the main driver of economic growth in the region is the recently completed Kiziljar Special Economic Zone, which is the only zone located at the border regions between Russia and Kazakhstan at the moment. 3 companies will be operating at the SEZ. The economic zone will operate for 25 years. Trade activities worth 1.5 trillion tenge will be conducted through the zone. Many Russian investors are interested in Kazakhstan. They are ready to come here, open their enterprises and establish production facilities. Of course, the products will be export-oriented. Favorable conditions will be provided for them given that there are no other SEZs in the border region between us. More than 40 investment projects worth 1.5 trillion tenge is planned to be implemented in Mangistau region in the next 5 years. One of the largest projects is the production factory of bitumen waterproof materials. A company from Germany has invested about 250 million tenge for the implementation of the project. We plan to conquer various markets such as Italy, Turkey, Turkmenistan, and Tajikistan. In 2020, we plan to expand the export of the products to Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. Currently, 29 projects are being implemented in the territory of the Seaport Aktau Special Economic Zone. 18 of the projects are operational, while 11 are still under construction. The legal requirements and preferential terms offered at the SEZ makes the business development process easier. New toll roads will be introduced in Kazakhstan this year on the Western Europe-Western China Highway, as well as on the sectors of the Shushink-Petropavl, Omsk-Pavlodar, and the Nur-Sultan-Kostanay Russian border. Nearly 11,000 kilometers of the highways in Kazakhstan will be chargeable in the next 5 years. The fare is calculated taking into account traffic intensity, technical characteristics, width, and the number of lanes, as well as the regulatory requirements for the road maintenance. At least 29 people were killed in floods and landslides in Indonesia. Part of Jakarta and nearby towns have been flooded due to the continuous heavy rains since December 31st. Electricity in the affected areas have been cut while transportations have been disrupted. Thousands of victims were evacuated from the disaster areas. Over 120,000 volunteers participate in the rescue operations. 7 people were killed in a missile attack on Baghdad airport. 12 soldiers were also injured in the incident. Among the perished include General Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force. The Pentagon claimed responsibility for the assassination of the general. The protest of transport employees in France continues. Protesters blocked a bus depot in northern Paris, which led to the cancellation of 1.5 million train tickets by the company's management. Only 2 automatic metro lines are operating as usual. According to local media, the current protest is the longest protest of railway workers since May 1968. The previous demonstration lasted for 1 day less than the current protests. 2020 is the year of volunteer in Kazakhstan with the slogan "We are together." According to official data, there are more than 250 volunteer organizations in the country. The single web-based platform kazvolunteer.kz is successfully operating, bringing together more than 3,500 people, relevant government authorities, and volunteer organizations. This year is aimed to strengthen all efforts, maybe to develop some kind of standards to support volunteering activities. It is clear that this will become the strategy for the upcoming years. It is a social internship program for students, but in the volunteer project, students can undertake an internship in 5 areas of social volunteerism. The volunteer program is also being actively developed in the regions of Kazakhstan. One of the most developed programs is in Aktobe. The volunteers help people with disabilities, drivers who are stuck on the road due to bad weather, and participate in the search for missing people. Last year, 16 missing children were found with the help of volunteers. We try to help everyone because either willingly or unwillingly, we go through challenges ourselves. We definitely will keep in touch with the people whom we have helped. The door of my house is always open for them, and I am always welcomed at their houses. We respect each other. Sometimes we will be in tears when we meet each other. Tourism potential in Almaty continues to attract travelers from around the world. One of the most attractive tourist destinations is the mountains, which is visited by nearly 500,000 tourists every year. Experts forecasted that the number of visitors would increase to 2.5 million in 5 years. Government of Kazakhstan has set the task to increase the tourist numbers under its state program for tourism industry development by 2025. Currently, mountain trails that are popular among tourists are being improved. Signs, information stands, arbors and benches are installed along the tracks. Recently, the country has opened its first mountain tourism development project office in Almaty. The task of the project office is to create a team that is responsible for the introduction and implementation of all the regulations of the state program in this area. The goal is looked at from the point of view of investment attractions, public-private partnership projects, and creation of a base to form personnel in tourism as well as standards and service quality in the industry.
Стандартов в туризме, качество обслуживания в туризме и так далее.
The project office is also responsible for the simplification of visa issuance to foreign tourists. It also provides support and assistance to the implementation of tourism-related projects, as well as searching and attracting investors. Experts said that similar projects will be implemented in Burabay, Bayanaul, the Imantau Shalkar Resort Area, Alakol and Balkhash Lakes, Turkistan, Mangistau, Baikonur and Nur Sultan. A multimedia museum is opened in Pavlodar. Modern technologies, such as information panels, provide a different view of the local history. The museum stores about 300 exhibits, and it also has 9 exhibition halls. 300 million tenge was allocated for the implementation of the multimedia museum project. We collected the entire rich historical world in one museum. Visitors are able to see skeletons of ancient animals using the multimedia technologies. They also can discover lives of the animals and what they ate at that time. We think it will be interesting for everyone. The most important thing about this museum is that the display is not static. We can always update the content with new information. For example, currently we are displaying the results of the recent archaeological findings. In the future, we can add in the new information on the research. Pavlodar region has always been the center of Kimak Kagani. Archaeologists continue to find ancient items along the Irtish River to this day, which includes weapons, armor, and utensils. The museum visitors said that the exhibition displayed provides information that can be easily understood. Kyrgyzstan is actively upgrading the digitalization process of its public services. The country has launched the single window system in order to provide fast and seamless services to the public. The request for documents can be approved within 1 month. The application can be tracked using mobile phone without physically having to leave home. I like the whole process. The service is quick and most importantly, it is transparent. I remember previously we had to run to different departments just for one document. Now we can save a lot of time. The service is very convenient to readers.
обращаются к таким видам либо строительство там дома или
We have inquiries on the construction of a house or a store. The applicants submit the APU and ITU applications for the house or store project. They also fill out the documents in electronic form. The data is stored in a database.
это как бы тоже идет в базу данных.
A New Year's bazaar has been held on the main square of the capital of Tajikistan. Among the displayed items were hand-painted Christmas ornaments, home decorations, wood and ceramic items, national cuisine, as well as women's clothing. Similar to Christmas markets, visitors were treated with delicious pastries and hot tea. There were 52 wooden houses located from the Rudaki Park to the monument of Ismail Samani. Residents of the Tajik Santa Claus, Boboy Barfi, and his granddaughter Snow Maiden Barfak were also located at the same place. On New Year's Eve, I wish my mother to be healthy and happy and always smile. I also wish my friends and relatives all the best. Happy New Year to all. The central square of Dushanbe has attracted residents and visitors of the city for the second year. There were red convertible of Santa Claus and several places for taking pictures. The citizens were excited to see the main festive attribute established on the square, which is the highest 28-meter Christmas tree in the history of the state. A unique bus, Santa Bus, traveled the streets of Kostanay during the holidays. Entertainers dressed in New Year-themed costumes entertained passengers in the bus. There were competitions, New Year trivia games, riddles, and word jumbles. The bus was decorated by Vyacheslav Labor, who works as a shuttle bus driver on usual days. We do it for our children. We were children ourselves and understand that for them it is a fairy tale. A special route was developed for the Santa Bus, which does not have many stops. The final stop is the Palace of Sports, where young passengers were greeted by Santa Claus and Snow Maiden. After a short performance, the passengers went to the ice rink. The Santa Bus is a social project whereby the pilot test was conducted in Kostanay. The initiative is planned to be turned into a good tradition. The first day showed us that children were very happy. They were in love with our costumes, our entertainment program, and emotions. We were happy to work with them too. Kazakh patterns are rich with symbols and meanings that come from the depths of the centuries. If some of the patterns have been lost, others have been carefully passed down from generations and preserved in their original form in the present day. Each thread pattern carries an encrypted message. In order to understand it, one must be able to understand the meaning of individual elements as well as know how to read the patterns on entire ornament. Anar Guli is a master of embroidery. She has been studying this art since childhood. If you compare the Kazakh and Slavic embroidery, of course, our drawings are a little simpler, but they are brighter and more diverse. This is because in ancient times, Kazakhs were constantly moving.
Canım gelin, hanım da sana şurada gelin. Kaytırsın şarımız gelin, kalasan bile derim. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell line. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing in blue and white. Jingle bells chime, jingle bell time. Dancing in the night. In the congregation, the light,